You keep asking why your anxiety won't go away, but what if the asking is exactly what's keeping it here? There's a guided meditation later in this video that might actually help you find out. But before we get there, I want to sit with you in something uncomfortable for a moment. Because most of us have spent years treating our fear like weather, like something that rolls in, ruins the afternoon, and eventually passes if we're lucky. We try to outweight it. We try to think our way around it. We try every productivity hack, every breathing technique, every podcast on resilience. And still, somehow, the dread keeps showing up. So here's the idea I want to explore with you. And I'll warn you in advance, it lands a little strange at first. What if we're not actually victims of our fear? What if, in some quiet way we've never really examined, we are its authors? Every anxious afternoon, every spiral at 3 a.m., every tight chest in the elevator, every one of those experiences traces back to a thought we chose, whether we remember choosing it or not. And the reason that matters is this: the way out isn't through willpower. It isn't through distraction. It isn't through finally becoming the kind of person who doesn't feel afraid. The way out is through recognizing what we're actually building with our minds, moment by moment. Let me put this in a room you already know. You're in a meeting. You float an idea, nothing huge, just a small contribution, and your manager moves on. Doesn't acknowledge it. Doesn't reject it. Just glides past, onto the next agenda item. Maybe 4 seconds pass. And in those 4 seconds, something starts assembling. Not slowly. Instantly. A story writes itself. They don't respect me. I'm being sidelined. I've been on the wrong side of something I didn't know about. Maybe my job's in trouble. By the time the meeting ends, you have a low-grade dread sitting in your stomach, and it follows you into lunch, into your afternoon calls, into your drive home. You're a little snappier with your partner. You don't sleep great. And here's the thing worth pausing on, really pausing on. Your manager said nothing. Nothing. Every word of that story, every sentence of that dread, was written by you. The fear you carried home was not delivered to you by your boss. It was the printout of a file you'd loaded before you had any real information at all. Which brings me to the metaphor I want you to hold for the rest of this conversation. Think of your mind as a 3D printer. Whatever file you feed it, it builds. Quietly, efficiently, without commentary. Most of us walk around convinced the objects appearing around us, the tense conversations, the looming dread, the sense that something is about to go wrong, are appearing on their own. Like the world is just delivering these things to our doorstep. But the printer has been running the whole time. It's been on since you woke up, and it has been producing, with perfect obedience, exactly what we loaded into it. We complain about the output. We try to throw the output away. We rearrange it on the table. And we never look at the file. That's the move almost nobody makes. The work isn't to smash the printer. The printer is fine. The printer is doing its job. The work is to look at what we keep uploading. Now here's the part that explains why nothing has worked. When you treat fear as an enemy from outside, Every strategy you use to fight it actually confirms its power. Think about it. If you're locking the doors, you're saying there's something dangerous out there. If you're white-knuckling your way through a presentation telling yourself don't be nervous, don't be nervous, don't be nervous, what have you just spent 30 seconds insisting on? That there's something to be nervous about. The very act of mastering fear announces that fear is the thing in charge. So the whole project quietly collapses. The harder you push against it, the more real it becomes to you. This is why so many intelligent, capable people end up exhausted by their own inner life. They've been wrestling an opponent they themselves keep summoning into the ring. And this is where, if you let it, something shifts. Not into forced positivity. Not into pretending you're fine. Into something quieter and more grounded than that. It's the moment you stop asking how do I defeat this fear and start asking what am I currently feeding the printer. Go back to that meeting. The manager moves on from your idea. In the old frame, you're a victim of their dismissiveness, and now you have to manage the emotional fallout for 6 hours. In this new frame, you notice, gently, without drama, that a story just got loaded. You see the file. You can read its name. I am being rejected. I am not valued. Something bad is about to happen. And the moment you can see the file, you are no longer fused with it. You're the one at the console. You're not the printout. You're the person who decides what gets printed next. This is what people sometimes call a shift in perception. And I know that phrase can sound abstract, but in your actual life it feels very specific. It feels like the air in your chest coming back. It feels like the silence between you and the situation widening just enough for you to breathe. What begins to develop here is something I'd call a calm authority over your own inner world. Not control. Exactly. Control is still the old game. Control is you tightening your grip on the printout. Authority is different. Authority is you remembering you have access to the file. You can choose, in any given moment, what story to keep feeding the machine. Not by suppressing the fearful thought, but by noticing it, naming it as something you're producing, and gently, with no violence, choosing to upload something truer. Maybe the truer file is, I don't actually have the information yet. Maybe it's, my manager is human and distracted and this isn't about me. Maybe it's just, I don't have to build the worst version of this right now. One thought. That's all it takes to start. Not a complete overhaul of your personality. Not 5 years of therapy before you're allowed to feel okay. One thought. In the room you're in, right now. And as you practice this, because this is a practice, not a one-time epiphany, something else starts to ease. The exhaustion. That low constant hum of bracing against your own life. Because here's what you start to understand at a deeper level. You were never at war with the world. You were never at war with your boss, your inbox, your future, your past. You were at war with your own output. And the moment you see that clearly, even for a few seconds, the war can't continue. There's no enemy on the other side of the field. There's just you, the console, and a printer that's been waiting, very patiently, for you to take a look at what's actually been queued up. You don't have to get this right today. You don't have to catch every thought. You just have to know, really know, that the printer is yours. That's enough to begin. And the meditation we're about to move into is a chance to feel what that's like in your body without having to figure anything out. If you're finding value here, you're welcome to like the video and subscribe. And now, let's shift into a quiet guided meditation together. Let's take a few minutes to let this settle in the body. You don't have to remember anything from the teaching. You don't have to do anything well. Let your shoulders drop, just an inch. Let your jaw be a little softer than it was a moment ago. Feel where you're sitting. The weight of you, held by whatever is underneath you. You don't have to hold yourself up. It's already being done. Breathe in, gently, and out. Notice that you are not, right now, in the meeting. You are not in the email. You are not in tomorrow. You are here. In this room. In this body. In this breath. If a thought arrives, and it will, let it pass through. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to fight it. Just notice, a thought is being produced. And you are the one noticing. That's all. That's the whole practice. The noticer is not the thought. The noticer is something quieter underneath. Breathe in and out. Feel the small space between one thought and the next. That space has always been here. You've just been moving too fast to feel it. Let yourself rest in that space for a moment. There is nothing to build right now. Nothing to print, nothing to defend against. The machine can be quiet for a little while. If something tight is still here, in your chest, in your stomach, behind your eyes, don't try to remove it. Just let it be seen. Let it know it doesn't have to perform. Breathe in and out. Notice that, in this moment, you are okay. Not because everything is solved, but because right now, in this exact second, nothing is being asked of you. Let that be true for a few more breaths. And when you're ready, not before, let your attention come gently back. Back to the room. Back to the sounds around you. Back to the day you're in the middle of. Carry a little of this quiet with you. It belongs to you. It's been yours all along. Thank you for spending this time in practice. A free digital ACIM resource is linked in the description if you'd like it. And if you wish, you're welcome to comment. I am grateful. Thank you for being here. For staying with something that asks more of you than most things do. If this gave you even a small breath of relief, let that be enough for today. Be gentle with yourself this week. You're not behind. And you don't have to fix everything at once. One thought at a time is plenty. I'll see you next time.